know I wrote a book, right? It's called Buy a Game and it's free. Click the link down there, you got it.
DreAllDay.com.
What's going on? What's going on, everybody? Dre Baldwin, DreAllDay.com. It's been a while. We ain't talked NBA in a long time. I ain't did an NBA video since actually the beginning of this NBA season, where I did my top 5 at each position. I did a couple award predictions, which I don't know if they even gonna come out right because the awards ain't even come out yet. But since the NBA playoffs are starting Saturday and Sunday, I knew I had to do an NBA playoff preview episode. I'm doing one for the Eastern Conference, one for the Western Conference, 2 videos, both coming out at the exact same time, out today. So everyone, here they are. Let's go right into it. We're gonna start with the East Coast. I live out there, so don't go there. We starting on the East, and this is Dre All Day. For those who don't know me, DreAllDay.com. You on this channel, you already know who I am. So let's get right into it. Predicting, I'm just gonna do the first round in each conference and why I think who's gonna win each series. And then as we move on each round, I'll do different videos for different series, or we'll see how it goes. Or if y'all even want to see this, if y'all ain't really interested in me doing each round or each particular series later on, then I won't do it. But if y'all want to see it, then I will do it. So you gotta let me know how you feel in the comments, and let me know on social media, Snapchat, Twitter. Y'all know all the places to reach me. My Snap is at Dre Baldwin, Twitter, Dre All Day. And you can find me pretty much at either one of those names somewhere everywhere else. All right, so let's start East Coast. Number 1 versus number 8. Cleveland Cavaliers versus the Detroit Pistons in the first round of the Eastern Conference NBA playoffs. All right, first of all, LeBron James, I still feel, is the best basketball player out there. Stephen Curry is playing the best of everybody, but LeBron James is the best. And I think there's a difference between the two. Steph Curry's like on fucking fire right now, so don't get me wrong that he ain't one of the best. He's definitely top 5 right now. But I think LeBron James is still the best basketball player, period. If I was playing a pickup game and I could take any player, I got the whole league out there and I can pick anybody I got first pick, I got to go with LeBron James. I got to go with LeBron James, my number 1 pick, because he is still the best player. The man can dominate a game on both ends of the floor. He can dominate the boards. He can dominate in the paint. He can dominate with his ball handling, with his passing, with his defense. He can guard all 5 positions. There's no other player in the league that can do that. And when he's locked in and doing his thing, the Cavs are pretty much damn unstoppable, except by the Golden State Warriors last year in the finals. And look at the team that he took to the finals last year. That's the thing that impressed me the most, is that he took that team. He didn't have anybody else there who was even close to a star, and he made happen what he made happen with that squad. So I'm still big on LeBron James. I'm still holding my LeBron James stock as the best basketball player out there. With that being said, going against the Detroit Pistons, I am a fan of Reggie Jackson. I like the way he went at Russ Westbrook. I like the way he wanted to get his revenge from OKC trading him, or his fallout with those players when he got traded and they beat OKC and he hyped the crowd up and all that. I like that. I like the fact that he's brash enough to do that. He's not afraid to go at guys when he's going out there playing. He does go at guys. As far as the Detroit Pistons overall, though, I'm not a huge fan of this team, especially in the playoffs. I don't see them as making any noise, not with the team that they have right now. That you need a big-time PT peer, as Dick Vitale would say. You need a big-time PT peer if you're going to take some games from the Cleveland Cavaliers here. And LeBron James, I've always been a fan of the way LeBron James plays on the road in the playoffs. That's something that I always look at. I look for in players that I like to watch, is how they play on the road when the other team is up for the game, when the home team crowd is up for it, and they go in there and just shut the whole shit down just because they feel like it. LeBron James is one of those dudes. I love watching him do it, and I love watching him knowing that he enjoys doing it, because he knows the exact same thing that I'm saying right here. So with all that being said, actually let me say a few more things. With the Cleveland Cavaliers this season, because I'm basically giving a season rundown here, Cleveland Cavs this season, it's disappointing to watch Kevin Love on that team. Kevin Love was averaging like 25 and 15 his last season in Minnesota. He was fucking killing. He was one of the top 5 players in the league his last season playing for the Minnesota Timberwolves. He was dominating, and couldn't nobody stop him at that 4 position, because there wasn't no other player in the league who could go off the bounce the way he did. He could drive to the hole off the bounce, he had that ball fake, and he could actually make those threes, those wing 3-pointers. He was going to work on power forwards and centers with that wing 3-pointer, and he had his post game, and he was still grabbing the more rebounds than anybody else in the league. And then he got traded to Cleveland. It wasn't necessarily his choice. I mean, maybe he okayed the trade, but he got traded to Cleveland. He had it only 1 year on his deal. Somehow, some way, he decided to re-sign with the Cavs, because I guess winning a championship is the thing for him, or maybe LeBron sold him on being the Chris Bosh of the Cavs. But it's just not the Kevin Love that I knew. It's not the Kevin Love that I saw. I don't know if Kevin Love is ever going to be able to play at the level that he was at when he was in Minnesota playing on the team with two ball-dominant players in Kyrie Irving and LeBron James. They both need the ball in their hands. They both actually may be better than Kevin Love. I don't know who's better between Kyrie and Kevin Love. It's hard to really say because neither one of them could win anything with their teams when they was on the teams when they was the lone star making a max contract. But anyway, that's a different conversation. I'm disappointed that Kevin Love hasn't been able to be Kevin Love since he's been in Cleveland, because he could do a whole lot more than he's shown. They got him stuck in the corner. He don't hardly get no plays run for him. He don't get enough touches, nearly enough touches as he should be getting. I honestly think they should take some touches away from Kyrie and give them to Kevin Love, for real. That's just my opinion. But again, they all got to work within the offense of what LeBron does and what everybody else is doing. It just doesn't work. It's not the right personnel match for Kevin Love. I would want to see him on a team where he could be more of the man, but he wanted to play on a team where I guess is because he felt like he can win. So that's his choice. So I just had to be disappointed. But I'm a fan of Kevin Love. I'm also a fan of Kyrie Irving. Big fan of Kyrie Irving. Again, the same thing I said about Kevin Love, I'm going to say about Kyrie. I've never seen either of them carry a team to even close to a winning record when they were the lone superstar on the team. And they both are superstars, all-stars making max deals. So I would expect them to be able to do that, but neither of them did it when they were alone. And every time LeBron misses a Cavs game, it seems that the Cavs lose. But again, maybe I'm wrong about this. But anyway, let me just get to my prediction on this series. Cavs in 4. This is going to be a sweep. Cleveland Cavaliers will sweep the Detroit Pistons in the first round of the playoffs. Next, Atlanta versus Boston. This is going to be a really good series. The Boston Celtics are a damn good team. I love Brad Stevens. He's a great coach. He's taking that group of guys, so he doesn't really have a star player. I guess you could say Isaiah Thomas is a star. But besides him, he's taking a mix of really good players. He got a mix of good players who all are on the same page, all going for the same goal, no individual egos, and he made a damn team out of them. And they almost got the 3rd seed in the East, but they end up in the 5th seed where they're going to be on the road against the Atlanta Hawks. The challenge for the Celtics in this series is going against the Hawks, who are a grizzled, veteran playoff team. They've been to the playoffs a couple years in a row with this same group. Paul Millsap, I'm a fan. Al Horford, Jeff Teague, even Schrader I like. Kyle Korver hasn't been as on fire this year as he was last year, but Bazemore has stepped up. The Hawks have actually a good team. It's kind of similar to Boston. They don't have that one like superstar all-star guy. They got Millsap and Horford, who I think are both better than anybody on Boston, but they also have a good overall group of players, but no one superstar guy that's going to just jump in there and be like, all right, I'm taking over this situation. Everybody get it the hell out my way. I got it, like a LeBron James or something like that. This is going to be the best series of the first round. I see the series going 7 games. This is going to be a 7-game series. However, because the Atlanta Hawks are the home team and because they got those grizzled veterans who've been veterans a little bit longer than Boston's veterans, and because they're at home, I got to go with the Hawks winning this series in 7. I would love to see Boston against Cleveland in the second round, but unfortunately it's not going to happen. It's going to be Cavs against the Hawks again in the second round because the Hawks are going to win this series in 7. I wouldn't be surprised if it goes 6 for the Hawks also, just taking advantage of their playoff veteranness against the young Celtics team, at least young when it comes to the playoffs. Next series in the Eastern Conference, Miami Heat against the Charlotte Hornets. Now, I'm in Miami. I'm not from Miami, but I'm in Miami from Philadelphia. Of course, I'm a huge fan of Dwayne Wade. D-Wade ain't dead. You already know about that. The Charlotte Hornets finally back in the playoffs. I think this is what I think about this series. Number one, they're going to need a heavy dose of Al Jefferson to even have a chance of competing in this series. Al Jefferson, for those of you who don't know, is pretty damn hard to stop in the post. He doesn't jump that high. He's not super athletic or quick, but the dude has post moves, and he knows how to use them. He has great footwork. He's very crafty. You put one of those long, spindly, athletic guys on him like a Serge Ibaka, DeAndre Jordan, or Hassan Whiteside, he knows how to take advantage of those guys and still get his buckets. Al Horford can get buckets in the paint. The thing is, he kind of got phased out of his role a little bit in Charlotte because he was injured, and when he came back in, they kind of kept going with what they had been doing. So I think in this series, if they keep doing what they had been doing and not featuring Al Horford as much as they had in the past, that Al's not going to get the touches that he needs to get, and the Hornets are not going to have a chance to compete without Al Horford dominating in the paint, because he needs to be down there dominating. He needs to be eating Whiteside's lunch. So to get Whiteside out of the game, get him in foul trouble, something to get Whiteside out of the picture, because Whiteside is pretty damn dominant. You got to get him out of there, and Al Horford can neutralize a guy like Whiteside with his post ability, but I don't even think he's going to get the chance to. Now, Charlotte's other major weapon is Kemba Walker, who's a hell of a guard, pretty quick, He can score a lot, but the Heat have really good guards. They got Josh Richardson, who's emerged as a rookie. You got Goran Dragic, and of course you got Dwayne Wade. So I don't think Kemba Walker is going to beat the Heat. Kemba Walker is not going to beat the Miami Heat in any of these games. Maybe he could have one big game. Maybe Nicholas Batum, who's had some good games as a role player, he can step up. Maybe Jeremy Lin. Now, Jeremy Lin is one of those crafty guards who seems to just find ways to get points sometimes. I think he can have a good game, and I think all those good games may happen on the same day, which is why I'm going to give Charlotte one game in this series. I say the Heat are going to win this series in 5 games just because of their grizzled veteranness. Chris Bosh is not back, right? Chris Bosh is not playing, but Dwayne Wade, DreAllDay, Whiteside, Goran Dragic, you got some solid players who've been around. So I say the Heat win this series in 5. They make easy work of the Charlotte Hornets. Last series in the Eastern Conference, we got the Toronto Raptors and the Indiana Pacers. So first of all, the Raptors really came up this year, battled, even threatened Cleveland for that #1 seed. I think they only finished like 3 games behind the #1 seed for the Cavs, up to the Cavs, and they really went at it this year. And their backcourt, Kyle Lowry from Philly, shout out to Philly, and DeMar DeRozan really stepped up this year. I think, did they both make All-Star, or did only one of them make All-Star? I think one of them made it this year and one of them made it last year, whatever it was. But both of those guys have stepped up to become stars as guards. Their role players all do their job. That's the great thing about that team. Like neither Lowry or DeRozan is a superstar, but they're both really damn good. Best 2 players on the team. And all the role players step up and do their job. Like Pat Patterson, Terrence Ross. I don't even remember who else is on that team. Valanciunas. Those guys all step up and get the job done, do what they supposed to do, which clears the lane for those 2 guards to do their thing, and that's why the Raptors have been so good this year. So I see them continuing to be consistent, doing their thing. They're going up against the Indiana Pacers, who I'm not a big fan of this current Pacers team. They've been good enough in the Eastern Conference, but not that great. Paul George is a superstar. Unfortunately, he's on a team where he may be an unknown superstar for a long time on a team that's going to be just like this. Like, not so garbage that they're going to get a high draft pick and be able to make Paul George's team around him better, but also not so good that they're actually threatening for anything. The Pacers are not beating. They would not beat the Raptors. They wouldn't beat the Celtics, the Hawks, the Cavs, or the Heat in the first round of a series with the team that they have right now. Maybe they could be a little bit competitive with some of those teams, but I don't think they would beat any of them. So unfortunately for Paul George, I think the Raptors may come in there. Could I go out on a limb and say the Raptors can sweep the Pacers? I'm going to say no, just because the Raptors are unproven in the playoffs. Excuse me. Just because the Raptors are unproven in the playoffs, I'm going to say no, they're not going to sweep them. I say the Raptors should, based on their regular season, should make 5 games work of the Pacers. This should be a 5-game series, but if the Raptors are not as real as we think they are, then this is going to take 6 for them to win this series. But they should, based on the way they played in the regular season, based on the team that they have, the Raptors should finish the Pacers off in 5 games, and if they really serious, they'll finish them off in 4. But this series should not be long. So those are my predictions for the first round. Cavs sweep. I say the Hawks in 7 games, the Heat in 5, and the Raptors in 5. So those are my picks for the first round in the Eastern Conference. Let me know what you think about that. And if you didn't see my video for the picks in the Western Conference, look at my channel because those picks are there. I want to know what you think. Leave them down here in the comments, and make sure you leave your prediction before the series starts. So don't wait till the series starts and somebody win a game or somebody gets injured and all of a sudden you picking who's going to win. You got to put your predictions in before the series begins. So don't try to come in on Saturday afternoon after the game started and say something. You got to do it now. Work on your game. Make sure you check that other vid. Work on your game. DreAllDay.com.